I've been playing Minecraft for a very long time, and over the years, I've noticed things that don't make sense. And I don't just mean trees that float in the air, standard Minecraft stuff, I mean things that don't make sense in the world of Minecraft. So I thought I'd put together a list, and I finally have enough things that don't make sense to make a video on it. And I should also add that most of these things don't make sense for gameplay reasons. I'm just being nitpicky for a bit of fun. So let's not take this too seriously. So let's begin. You see, lava, it's a dangerous thing, and you can pick it up with a bucket. Makes sense, but if you throw that same lava-proof bucket in lava, gone. Doesn't make sense. Now this next one gets into territory I'm not familiar with. But just bear with me, because we all know redstone to work in a similar way to this. You have a piston of some description. You then put a power source next to it. It works. But did you know that redstone can work even if it's not connected? This breaks all the laws of redstone that I know. And if you think that was just a fluke or the way I placed it, nope. That's just how you... Do you know what? We should put the entirety of redstone in here. All of this quasi-connectivity stuff, it doesn't make sense. Who would win in a fight? A literal pool of lava or one prickly boy? Submit the answer on your phones now. You guessed it. The lava does nothing. Yet, one green prickly boy gone. Doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Now this one's a bit on the strange side, but I noticed if you use a lead in Minecraft on an animal, this is the first time I need where is an animal? The lead actually doesn't go in your hand. Look, it's kind of, well, it looks like it's going in your armpit. How many people hold their leads under their armpit like this? Wait, no, it's attached to the side of me. Everything else, hold in your hand. So you're telling me in Minecraft, this deals damage, this little flower deals damage, but the giant saw blade does nothing. How is this? This is the most aggressive looking block in the game. How does this make any sense? No, seriously, I was really disappointed when this didn't deal damage. Now, I never thought about this too much, but an anvil, which famously weighs an awful lot, sinks in the water, as you might expect. But if you throw that same heavy anvil in the water, of course, like everything in Minecraft, floats to the top, like it's nothing. Huh. Now in Minecraft, we enchant items by going to this magical book and a whole bunch of knowledge. Well, that makes kind of sense to me. You know, I can enchant stuff. But the way you disenchant something is you use a rock that spins. This implies that you disenchant an item by scraping it off. I just thought it was strange that you repair and disenchant with this. If you have a chicken and you set it on fire like this, when it burns and eventually dies, you end up with a cooked chicken. I'm okay with that. That makes sense. What doesn't make sense to me is if the chicken dies on a literal campfire, you get raw chicken. Surely the same principle applies. Doesn't make sense. Minecraft is a famously goalless game. So why does it have a score? And how did I get 843? What is that number? What does it mean? And why does Minecraft need a score? There's no goal. Doesn't make much sense to me. Here's one for you. We have carpets and we have pressure plates in Minecraft. Both very, very similar. Obviously, one triggers redstone and one is decorative. But for some reason, carpets are destroyed by water. Pressure plates, seemingly invincible. I feel like they may have been forgotten in the aquatic update. Speaking of aquatic updates, have you ever thought about the fact that there are now tons of literal fish in the ocean, but you don't catch it with a fishing rod? Indeed, you can't capture any of these with a fishing rod. You need to use a bucket. And the only fish you're ever going to catch with a fishing rod will never be the ones you actually see. Talking of buckets, if you're falling in Minecraft, you could place, if you don't suck at the game, a bucket of water on the ground and it will stop you from dying. Let's just think about that for a second. Imagine in real life if you just had a bucket of water as you fell from a plane. If you tried to just throw the water on the floor, pretty sure it's not going to do anything. You'd expect at least 2 blocks of water to break your fall. Doesn't make much sense. Now, we all know in Minecraft we have to cook food to eat. Now, this makes sense. It certainly tallies with real life anyway. But if you want to bake a cake, you gotta just throw the ingredients on this thing. Now, I'm not even gonna get into the fact that you need to use 3 whole buckets of milk. I'm more interested in the fact that you do 0 cooking. Could you imagine just throwing all this stuff together and getting a cake perfectly baked? It's nuts. Beacons are insanely... Did I mess up the beacon? I made a beacon way too big. That's embarrassing. Beacons are insanely useful things. They give you haste 2, and coupled with an efficiency 5 pickaxe, you can mine through literal stone instantly. Even granite. Things that should take a really long time. However, something famously as brittle as glass, you have to torment your way through. Now, this really irks me. It makes no sense that glass with efficiency 5 and a beacon takes longer to mine than something like stone or granite. Not only does this not make sense, it kind of annoys me in Minecraft. Here we are in a Minecraft village, and take a look at the scale and size. One villager is quite happy to live in a 3x3 interior space. Really humble and kind of makes sense. You don't really need much when you're living in a small Minecraft house. Let's take a look at how the other side lives. For some reason, Pillagers live in this. An absolutely enormous house for such a tiny thing. An absolutely ridiculously large house compared to the 3x3 that they're used to living in. In fact, this one has a village attached to it. Look at the size comparison between this house and this one. What do they need all this size for? Oh yeah, I forgot. It's for storing their giant statues of cats and dinner parties and whatever this is. What do they need all this space for? What are these rooms? Apparently this is what they need it for. Giant wool statues of things. You know what? Let's just put the entire mansion in the thing that doesn't make sense. There's a lot of strange things going on in that house, and I think we should leave. And it looks like the future is also not going to make much sense. Admittedly, this is a snapshot and this may change, but the big drip leaf, you can place an anvil on it, sand, gravel, but if you throw a single feather, it activates it. It just doesn't make sense. So you're telling me it takes longer to punch cobwebs than it does to knock down an entire tree with your fist? Sorry, how does this one make sense? This is something I never really thought about until making this video, but I never thought about how absurd it is that you, the player, can just hop in a waterfall and just fly, just go up like nothing, like gravity doesn't exist, and you can just float on water no matter what it's doing. It's just nuts, and this has been around for so long. Mad. If you fall on a boat, you die. But if you fall sitting in a boat, you're not only A-okay, but the boat also doesn't do anything either. I've always felt that that's a little strange. We need to talk about the relative strength of wheat, because it can hold up and destroy a whole stack of sand and anvils like it's absolutely nothing. But one little hop from a player, kaput. Doesn't make sense. Walking on coals, admittedly, should hurt. That makes sense. But why, when you crouch on it and spend more time on the hot coals, does that mean you have a 0 damage taken? Surely jumping across as fast as possible should be the way to do it, but it's not. You can milk cows infinitely. Just think about that for a second. They never run out of milk. When you fall on slime, you bounce up and down and don't take any damage. That's absolutely fine. Makes sense within the context of Minecraft. Fly into it. It's like a brick wall. Why? Falling in 1 block of water, absolutely fine, no damage. Even half a block of water, no damage. Fall in a cauldron, dead. We all know that Endermen don't like water. A single block, a half a block, but they are quite happy to sit in a cauldron full of water, unless you look at them, in which case, run. Run for your life. Sorry, Dom. Walking through a too high space in Minecraft, no problem. Even if you had a carpet there, absolutely no problem, you can still fit through. If you had a fence gate there, guess what? You can't go through it. And no matter what you do, unless you just walk around it. There are a few inconsistencies in Minecraft, and one of them is that if you place down a pot and a lantern, both pretty similar in size, one of them floats, the other one doesn't. Why? So, in conclusion, there are a lot of things in Minecraft that don't make an awful lot of sense. These are just some of the things that I've been keeping track of over the years. Is there anything that doesn't make sense in Minecraft that I didn't list? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, thank you very much for watching, and consider subscribing and liking the video. And I shall see you in the next episode. Bye!